In our last video, we shared with you some of the worst SBA default advice we've heard in nearly a decade of working in this field. In this video, we'll take a look at the opposite side of that coin. Simply put, the best advice we could possibly give to a client is this: be honest and tell the truth. When you're trying to settle your debt following a business failure, your lender and the SBA are seeking full disclosure. So what does this mean for you? First, it means don't fudge your personal financial statement. Intentionally omitting major assets is the fastest way to convince your lender and the SBA that you're trying to avoid repaying your fair share of what you owe. Lenders will run your credit report and perform asset searches to confirm that your PFS is accurate. Mortgages show up on credit reports, so if you're thinking of accidentally forgetting to list your home, which has equity in it, don't. Don't forget about all the past personal financial statements you submitted along the way. You completed one when you applied for the loan, and most banks require an annual update. If you mentioned a major asset, maybe a bank account, an investment, or real estate, and even one of those, and that asset gets left off SBA Form 1150, a sharp workout officer will notice and ask about it. At that point, you'll either have to lie outright or to confess that you accidentally left a major asset off your PFS. It can be excruciating to part with what little cash you have left, but please believe us when we tell you that misdirection is not the right move. Whatever goodwill you have will evaporate instantly if your lender discovers you've been less than forthright. As far as workout officers are concerned, leaving that other bank account off your PFS is the same thing as lying about your balance. Second, if a strategy seems too good to be true, it probably is. If someone has convinced you that the SBA rules have loopholes and that they'll show you how to jump through them, turn and run. The idea that you should sell your business to a friend or to a new corporation that was set up just so that you could claim the business ceased operations, the SBA would not approve of that. Remember, you're the one signing your name on the offer and compromise form, not your workout officer. That means that if the bank or the SBA discovers you're trying to defraud them, it's you they'll be coming after. Over the years, we've gotten plenty of calls from borrowers who've had this scam pitched to them. They hear it and it doesn't pass the sniff test, so they do some more looking around. They seek to validate this claim that it's perfectly okay to deceive the bank and the SBA. Not surprisingly, you won't find anyone proclaiming publicly that this is an acceptable way to settle your personal guarantee, because it's not. And finally, it's important that you play it straight. The whole point of the offer and compromise is to provide guarantors the opportunity to settle their debt because they truly can't afford to pay it back. The SBA won't simply settle because it would be a nuisance for you to make payments, nor will they settle because you have the money but want to buy that new jet ski. There's nothing wrong with putting forth an argument about why you can't afford to pay the lender or the SBA in full, but it has to be a fair offer that you honestly believe is the most you can afford. The failure of a business is a life-changing event and not in a good way. We get that. But if you try to avoid paying what you owe by misrepresenting your situation, you risk making a bad situation much worse. Nobody's ever been put in jail for borrowing money, making an honest effort, and not being able to pay it back. Lots of people have gone to jail for fraud. Keep that in mind when submitting your offer and compromise. For more on all of this, visit us on the web at www.jasontees.com, and if you'd like information about your personal loan situation, don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email.